Hello and welcome back to Chasing Green Arrows. As usual, I have with me my co-host, Mr. Abrar Aziz and Mr. Zohair Khan. What's up, boys? How are you doing?
All good, all good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. What's up, Zo?
What's up, man? All good. You?
All good, man. Games are coming thick and fast with Champions League. I don't know, Don, if you follow, there's Champions League going on this week. So there's a lot of games. I think Europa League starts tomorrow, but yeah.
Tomorrow.
I just want to say from Paris with love. From Paris with love.
From Paris with love. But yeah.
Man, two good games, and these guys are starting to fly again. I just missed 2 weeks back when you guys were sucking, and it was nice.
But yeah, I mean, the games are coming thick and fast. We're looking towards game week 6 today. We'll be doing the predictions for that. So let's start with that. Our first game is on Friday this time. So all those fantasy managers, make sure you meet the deadline. It's not the Saturday, it's Friday. So let's start. The first game is Aston Villa versus Leeds. Don, I'll let you take this first.
Yeah, because I think I need to take this one first. You know, I've been bantered about not respecting Aston Villa. They've been along with Everton, the only undefeated team, but I'd like to see where they end. I'm gonna predict a bottom half finish for them. So, even though they've started off well, I think that's my prediction for them.
But they have ex-Arsenal goalkeeper here. What if he wins the Golden Glove and wins in the league?
They're not going to win the league, I don't think.
I mean, not the league, but they. I'm sure better than bottom half.
That's the only reason they won the first 3 games, bro. The first 4 games.
Because of the goalkeeper.
Because of that goalkeeper. Goalkeeper sublime form.
Yeah. Ollie Watkins didn't bang in a hat trick. Oh, no, not at all.
No, Ollie Watkins is all the stuff is no, but let's not fool around. But I think on a serious note though, I think Aston Villa have been performing well this season, no doubt about it. But I think that they will not be able to sustain that kind of level that they've started off with. Hats off to them for a very, very good start. They struggled a lot last season. They had a lot of issues. They just barely survived the relegation as well. So there's a lot of things that have kind of been tapered off because of that. There are some issues. There are some good players though. They have some good players. They have a good coaching staff and everything. But I still think that as the league goes by, I think they'll start to fade off, and I think that they will finish in the second half. They will be anywhere between I think 12, 13, 14. That's kind of where I expect them to finish. But good start to them, good start to their season. And Leeds, on the other hand, surprisingly had zero goals in their past game against Wolves, which is not something we'd see. Bisa will be fired up. I think he'd not accept that performance, I don't think. So I'm expecting this one to be a little bit more of a goal fest. So I'm just going to go with a 3-2 Leeds victory.
3-2 for Leeds. And Zo, your prediction for this game?
So I'm on board that Aston Villa hype train. You know, got to shout out my man Carl for opening my eyes and really showing me the ways of Villa Park. I think they've been playing really well. I think Dean Smith has this squad, purring on all cylinders right now, just doing really well. Jack Grealish has been in inspired form. I don't know what he has to do to get a game with Gareth Southgate, but for Villa, he's been great. They have a solid team up front as well. Ollie Watkins has been a good addition. Just looking like a real good start to the season. I think they can sustain it for a little bit. I think there will be some drop-off. I don't think it's sustainable for them to keep playing the way that they're playing. But I don't think they're going to dip as far as Brar thinks. I think he's just a fool.
I think unless injuries and COVID and stuff happens.
There's a lot of ifs that might happen. But I think right now, I think they
this squad, they're looking good.
With this squad and the way they're playing, they're looking good. I think they, realistically look at a top half finish should be very easy for them going at this rate, and I think they should be looking to get into European spots. I think they should be gunning for at the minimum this season they should be getting into the Europa spots. Given if they regress back to the way that they usually play, but who knows? They might surprise us. They're right now they're looking like a good contender for top 4, and some will say winning the league, but those some are definitely loud but vocal few.
Yeah.
For me, I've got them winning 2-1 over Leeds, man. Not to knock on my boy Biesla, but 2-1 to Villa.
2-1 for Aston Villa. I'll probably go with 2-2. I don't see Villa losing this game. I think, like Zo mentioned, they're in top form. Jack Grealish, Ollie Watkins, even the goalkeeper from Arsenal. I'm joking, Martinez. Yeah, Martinez. I know, Martinez as well. I think they're looking like a good team. I would have actually picked them to win this game, but I just feel like Abrar also said that Leeds, it was a disappointing performance, and Bristol will want them to fight back and score a few goals at least. So I'm going with a 2-2 between Aston Villa and Leeds. And then moving on to Saturday's games, we'll start off with West Ham versus Manchester City. Zoe, you can take this first. West Ham in some good form.
West Ham in some good form, but I think City are starting to figure things out as well. Aguero's back. They had a good game in the Champions League. Wasn't the strongest opposition, but still, you got to play who's in front of you. And I think that they did well. It was Porto, so it's not like as if it's some club that no one knows. I think Aguero coming back makes a big difference for them. Obviously, they're still missing De Bruyne. They're still missing a few players. West Ham has been also looking good, but I think that this will be. I think this is going to be City's game. They're still looking open at the back, so I think that West Ham will score, but City to win 3-1.
City to win 3-1. And Don, City will be boosted kind of with Liverpool's form, even though, teams and players, they say that we focus on ourselves, but they would have some confidence after Liverpool dropping a few points, which they barely did last season. So your thoughts on this game and City overall?
Yeah, I think I 100%. I think it will lift their spirits for sure, because first couple of games when they kind of got a beating from Leicester, I think it was, and Liverpool was kind of already up 6 to 9 points from where they were. So it would have been a little bit demoralizing. But I think the last two games have not gone in Liverpool's favor. One pretty big loss to Villa, and then a draw against Everton kind of brings them back a little bit, and City won last week, so they're up on the points as well. So I completely agree that that City will be rejuvenated. They would be wanting to set the issues that they have and move forward with this. They have a couple of good games coming for them, so I think I have it's happening way too often. So but I do have City 3-1 written down over here, but I'm gonna say but I'm just gonna say 4-1 because I don't want to mimic Zoe.
4-1 for Man City. I'm going with a 2-1 West Ham win. Green Street Hooligans, the best movie ever. And West Ham looking in good form. I can't go with City, but yeah, I feel if there were fans, I think it'd be even tougher for City this game. But still, I feel West Ham will give some fight to this game. I'm hoping that they'll win 2-1.
Yeah, no, absolutely. West Ham has actually been playing well after they kind of had a very poor start. I think first couple of games they were really all over the place.
Yeah,
and then they lost to Arsenal 2-1, but they look good in that game as well. They look resilient, and then they changed things around in the next two games after that. So it's pretty good for them. I mean,
their last game would give them tremendous confidence, I feel. So
absolutely.
The 3-3 draw, I think unbelievable. So moving on to the next game, Fulham versus Crystal Palace. Don, you can take this game first.
I expect Crystal Palace to win this one. I think that I'm expecting Zaha to do something. I'm expecting him to come to the party. I think Fulham's defense, as we've always mentioned over the past few weeks, has been abysmal. I mean, there's really no looking forward for them. Unfortunately, they've really looked all over the place at the back line. They have some decent attacking line in Mitrovic especially, but I think they get outscored. I think it's going to be a 2-1 Palace win.
2-1 Palace. And Zoe, your thoughts on this game?
I mean, 2-1 to Palace, man. 2-1 to Palace. I'm not afraid of picking the same thing as him, but I think Fulham's defense is they've shipped a ton of goals. They've conceded 12 goals already. Crystal Palace on their day can be very thrilling attacking wise. They have a very talented player in Zaha, and then just the way the team plays around him when they are on song, they do play well. I think that Fulham is the sort of challenge that they can realistically overcome quite well. But again, I don't want to pick against Mitrovic to bag one just on the counter on the break. I think that it will, Crystal Palace will leave spaces for Fulham to get into, but just, do they have the quality necessarily to exploit that? I don't think that they do. So I have Palace winning 2-1.
So both Abra and Zoe are agreeing and going with the 2-1 Palace win. I agree with you guys as well, but I just think it'll be a more convincing win. I'll go 3-0 Palace. 3-0 to Crystal Palace. And then moving on to the biggest game of the weekend. It's Manchester United versus Chelsea. Zoe, if this was a couple of weeks back, you might have a different prediction, but I think off a victory against Newcastle, but especially a victory against PSG, some confidence. This United team is very erratic, very inconsistent, but anything can happen. So your initial thoughts on this game?
So when I was writing down my score predictions, I actually got the order wrong. So I had Liverpool, Sheffield before United, Chelsea. So when you're like the game of the week, I was like, wow, you must really like Danny Ings, man. Like
Yeah, no, I was following the app, but
the
yeah.
actual, the actual correct schedule. No, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong over here. For me, yeah, you're right, man. Honestly, United were kind of looking a little bit lost. Poor start to the season. We talked about it that, is it a lack of game time? What is it exactly that is, causing these guys to not perform up to the expectations that were kind of like set last season, and where you would expect them to kick on from. And it looks like they're beginning to show some signs of life. That Newcastle win was clutch. Is a good way to respond from the 6-1 loss to Tottenham. And then honestly, the game against PSG was truly, where they shone. Like, you got to see a tactical masterclass from Ole.
I think for the first time, you guys' tactics like spot on.
And the adjustments throughout the game were great as well.
It wasn't like the last time in Paris where there's a lot of.
That's it. Last time was a smash and grab. This one was actually, they deserved the win. I felt that we were the better team on the pitch. Yes, PSG did threaten, and there were things for us to worry about. But overall, I think that United was the better team at the Parc des Princes. So for me, against this Chelsea team, for me, they're struggling. Yes, their front line is beginning to click, but defensively, they are error prone. There's a lot of teams that have been able to score against them. I think just the way that United's going to set up against them, it's not going to necessarily result in too many goals, but I think United should walk away with a 2-1 win.
2-1 win for United. Yeah. Don, your thoughts on this game?
So for me, when in the last year, 2 years, I think every time, at least since Ole has taken over, right, in the past year at least, that anytime United has played a top 6 side, they've looked another team, a completely different team. They've looked good. They've been
Apart
able to produce
Spurs.
some, maybe Spurs, yeah, but they've been able to produce overall. Like, I mean,
overall, even last season against Spurs, they won,
as a majority. So I think they look good. They suddenly kind of produce results you don't expect them to, and then they significantly falter against some of the lower oppositions in terms of, at least that's kind of how it was for the majority of last season.
So do you think that's more because of the counter-attacking style, or is it just that the players are more pumped up for these games?
I think it's a bit of both. I think that the counter-attacking style definitely helps this kind of the way Ole usually sets his team up. It's more prone to be able to attack on the counter and be able to like quickly move and score those goals. So that's kind of, I think, what it is. Plus, I think that they'll be pumped up. They usually are pumped up for bigger games, especially the likes of Liverpool and City, who are like rivals for a while. Arsenal, City, and Liverpool kind of been for some time now. So on the basis of that, and on the basis of how poor both these teams have defended in these past few games, I'm expecting a goal fest, actually, honestly, with this one, and I'm gonna go with a very, very strange one. I'm gonna go with a 4-4 draw.
Whoa! Wow!
How many penalties do you think we can get in one game? 4-4 draw.
I am expecting 2.
I was actually gonna come to that. Bruno penalty on the cards.
Bro, Bruno penalty on, but I like his new strategy. He misses the first one, a false sense of security, and then he scores after. Mind games, bro. Mind games.
But just a little bit more on this game, I just wanted to ask, like, Don mentioned the counter-attacking style, but also how is it that they concede goals against like Palace, Burnley, and then against PSG they only concede 1 goal? I don't understand.
I think it's a very small sample size we're looking at in terms of the games against Crystal Palace and whatnot. It was at the beginning of the season. The team wasn't up to fitness. We were missing players. People hadn't had time to train together. I think we're still, Harry Maguire has been pretty poor this season. But if you look at last season we were solid defensively. We had a solid, defensive record. I think we were third in terms of goals conceded. So it's been a big drop off with essentially the same team in place. So it's been surprising, but I think that we're going to round into, some good defensive form, especially with how Tuanzebe has been playing, and my man Wan-Bissaka, scoring on and off the pitch. He's been killing it. I thought he had a really good response to all the attention to his private life. I thought he put in a really, really good performance against PSG, and I think he can take a lot of confidence from that, and I think it's going to be the same thing against Chelsea.
Yeah, Don, and Chelsea, same issue. They're scoring goals, but they're conceding. They drew 3-3 to West Ham. Not West Ham, Southampton. Sorry. Do you feel that Frank's tactics will be questioned if they don't put up a good run?
100%. I think that it's already starting to get in question. I mean, there is a very big hole in that defensive line. I mean, it's not being set up properly. It's not. I don't think there is. With due respect to Frank Lampard, I think that there's a lack of understanding between what the defenders want to do and what is probably being
Hmm.
portrayed to them. There seems like that there's that prone to like errors way too often. I mean, they have. It's not like they've not bought anyone. They've gone in and bought Thiago Silva, who's a very good defender on his day.
Hmm.
Ben Chilwell, who's an upcoming very, very good left back. He's an massive upgrade to Alonso that they had last season, right?
Yeah.
So kind of they've gotten those players. It's just a matter of like now making them click, and that has been the problem, and I think it'll continue to be a problem until for a few more games till these guys have all played together. But what has been impressive has been their attacking, no doubt. Timo Werner started off a little bit slowly over the first couple of games, but then he scored a few goals now. He's banged it in. Tammy is doing well. Havertz is coming through. Pulisic is all ready and ready to start games and everything. So I think that this attacking line will flourish. It's just that it's just a matter of scoring more than they concede, at least till the first few months of this, till they figure out their back line. And that's why I'm expecting goals, because the way Harry Maguire has been playing and the way the Chelsea back line has been playing, I just expect mistakes and errors and kind of it just be a very entertaining game in my opinion. That's why I'm going with a high scoring draw.
A high scoring draw. So Don is going 4-4. Zoya is going 2-1. I'll go with a 2-2. Yeah, I feel. I mean, I want United to win this game for sure, but I'm just going.
What is this 2-2 prediction? They don't take this round here.
I just feel that they might let a couple of goals in. So yeah, I'm going with 2-2. And it'll be interesting to see if Maguire will play Zo.
I don't know. Let's see.
If he plays, then 2-2. If he doesn't play, then United win. But yeah, I'll just stick with 2-2 for 2-2 for now. I'll be proven wrong. I predicted a Maguire goal last week, if you remember, and he did score.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, defensively, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that wraps up that big game. And then moving on to the last game of Saturday, Liverpool versus Sheffield United. Liverpool with a win against Ajax. They just edged past them 1-0. But it's not the same team, the same vibes we're getting from last season. Zoe, your thoughts on this Liverpool team?
I mean, I think that
this game. Sorry, your prediction for the game.
I think obviously, there was the concern about losing Van Dijk, and that can't be discounted. But at the same time, I think Fabinho did a really good job playing in the back line as a center back against Ajax today. I think they put forward a good performance today. Still obviously, one goal, it was an own goal from Tagliafico as well. But I think that against Sheffield, it should be pretty easy sailing for them. I've actually got Liverpool with a 3-0 win.
3-0 for Liverpool. Don, from his reaction, I can tell he has the same exact prediction. So, Don, you're sticking with that?
I don't know. I probably can't see that, but I have 3-0. What is going on? So, what have you like gone on and checked my reviews? Have you been like hacking into my phone? What's going on, bro?
All of the above.
Great minds think alike.
But all of our predictions are wrong, by the way.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah, this week I need to sit down and calculate the predictions. But yeah, there have been like some shockers from all three of us.
So I feel like we found like this common level of idiocy, and we've all just met there.
Yeah. So Don, your thoughts on the game?
No, I kind of agree with almost everything Zoe said. I just feel like Liverpool will be hungry coming out of a couple of they just made 1 point in the out of a possible 6 in the past 2 games in the Premier League. So I think that they will be hungry. I think there'll be goals in this game. That's why I said 3-0. I don't think Sheffield has it in them to kind of trouble them. So I honestly think that Liverpool will come out. They'll stamp their authority and they'll win 3-0.
3-0 to Liverpool. So both Zoe and Abra going 3-0. I don't know what to predict. I'll probably I'm going with the 2-1 Sheffield win, last minute goal, man. But it's gonna be impossible. But if I get it right, I get bonus points. Yeah.
Sure.
Done. All right, and that wraps up Saturday's games. Moving on to Sunday, Southampton versus Everton. Both teams with draws last week. Both teams would have some confidence, especially Everton. Like, they've been unbeaten this season. There's the team to watch for me. Don, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think like you said, I mean, Everton has been rocking the season. They've been very good. They've looked like a complete team. They're looking solid attacking wise. They're looking decent back in the back line as well, except for that terrible mistake by Arimina. I think apart from that, they've looked pretty solid overall. And they have as Zo keeps mentioning, Papa Carlo sitting at the helm, kind of managing this team pretty well, honestly. I'm expecting them to continue this force for a little bit longer before they start to fade off a little bit. So I'm expecting a 2-1 win for Everton.
2-1 for Everton. Zo, your thoughts on this game?
So thank God that he predicted 2-1 for Everton, because I've gone 3-1 Everton. I think they're looking really good attacking wise. They're clicking. James is fit in seamlessly, really showing that he's still got it, that he's still the player that, made that 80 million move to Madrid, that, lit up that World Cup for Colombia. And I'm really glad to see him performing so well, because truly he is a gem. He's a joy to see when he's on song. I think that, against Southampton, it should be a pretty routine day at the office. Southampton might hit them on the counter, so I see like Ings getting that goal. But for me, like I said, 3-1 for Everton.
3-1 for Everton. I'll probably go with a 3-1 Everton win as well. I just feel that, like Zo said, Southampton might get a goal, but Everton just look class team right now. Hopefully, barring any injuries, they can continue this form. But right now, team to watch, I think, and James Rodriguez, Calvert-Lewin, that link-up play is just unbelievable. So, yeah, I think that wraps up that game. And then moving on to Wolves versus Newcastle. Zo, you want to take this?
Yeah, man, I got this one. So for me, I don't know, man. I was looking at my predictions. I was like, man, I'm predicting a lot of goals. I need to throw in a draw. So I've decided to pick this game as my draw. So I've gone 1-1 for Wolves Newcastle. I think Wolves have been struggling to score a little bit. I don't know if it's, the loss of Diego Jota or what it is, but they've kind of been, not as cutting edge as they were last season in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net. Newcastle has been blowing hot and cold. Alain Saint-Maximin, I think he does a lot of tricks. And he's a great player to bring the ball up, but I think the finishing product is a little bit missing.
The last third, that's where he needs to improve.
That's it, the final third, just that composure and that killer instinct to really, finish things off. And I think that's just missing with Newcastle as a whole right now. So for me, I've got them as a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Don, do you agree with that?
I've gone for a 1-0 Wolves victory. I think that Newcastle has been a little bit kind of blowing hot and cold this season again. I think that Wolves also have been in similar kind of form, but I think that they're starting to like put things together after a little bit of a slower start. That victory against Leeds, who's been banging those goals in, and to keep them to 0 goals last game will probably give them a lot of confidence. And I think they have enough quality up front to be able to at least sneak in a goal. So I think a 1-0 Wolves victory.
You think they're missing Jota, like Zo said, because they're not as clinical as last year?
I completely agree. I think they are definitely missing Jota. Jota does provide that little bit of a clinical edge to their front line, which is probably missing. But I think once this current crew starts playing a little bit more, I think they'll start to figure out ways to get those goals. But I'm pretty sure this one, on the basis of this specific game, I think they have enough to at least score a goal. So that's why I'm going to go with 1-0 for Wolves.
1-0 for Wolves. I'll probably go 3-0 Wolves. Raul Jimenez. I'm a bit different this week, but yeah, he's in my team. I hope he scores. And then moving on, I think that wraps up Sunday's games.
It feels like you do this all the time. It looks like Zoe and you were texting side, just like mess around with him when it comes to.
You knew they're playing on Sunday, huh? I thought you.
Of course, I know they're playing.
I thought it'd slip and we finish the games and then we wrap up. And then moving on to Sunday. I mean, sticking to Sunday. Arsenal versus Leicester City. Is Jamie Vardy gonna play? Don, I'll let you go first because it's Arsenal.
I thought you'd go with Zoe, but
you want me to go with Zoe first?
No, it's fine. I'll finish it up. But I just like, it doesn't matter if Jamie Vardy plays or no. It's not gonna matter because.
But according to history and stats and everything, it does matter. Vardy always has a party.
If he plays, I'll give him a goal just for the keeping his record against Arsenal but I still think that Arsenal's gonna win this game. There's been a lot of I mean, there's been a lot of talk about how they've not been creating enough and all of that, and all of that is going to be put to bed when Thomas Partey starts, and Jamie Vardy's party is going to be stopped by Thomas Partey, bro. I was waiting to do this. I was waiting
So
to do
did
this.
you? So did you hear that?
Unfortunately, I did. Bro. Unfortunately, I did, and I think
was
I
waiting-
have,
Jamie Vardy's party is gonna be stopped by Thomas Partey.
Yeah, boy.
I have honestly become stupider as a result of this. But I'm sorry, man. Out of my ongoing love for you, Abrar, last time I picked Arsenal to win and they lost. So this time I'm employing some reverse psychology.
Yeah.
So I'm picking Leicester to win 2-1.
Wow.
Okay.
So make of that what you will.
Okay.
If that means an Arsenal win, it means an Arsenal win. But
I'll continue to pump in that money for you to predict them to lose
That's
every
it.
time in case they
So-
continue to win.
That's it. So it's interesting because Leicester's going to be without Soyuncu because I think he had an injury over international break and he's been a big part of their back line. He's a key player for them. Jamie Vardy, same thing. Is he going to be back? Isn't he? Is he not? So questions abound. So like I said, this is a more of a let me do it for Don prediction. So yeah, 2-1 to Leicester.
Actually, that's the problem with Leicester. Even end of last season, Madison was injured and they just derailed. So that's the problem with them. I think they need that core. Once a couple of key players get injured, they do struggle. With any team,
They
it
don't
can
have
happen.
depth, man. They don't have depth.
But also they're unfortunate that some of the key players get injured quite a bit. So I think that's also the thing. But so Zoe, you're going with 2-1 Leicester.
Yep.
And Don, you're going with
3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal. I think Arsenal probably will take this. I'll go 2-1 Arsenal. Yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal. That wraps up Sunday's games. Moving on to Monday. An exciting game, Zoe, Brighton versus West Brom.
Yo, actually, this might be a pretty
Tariq Lamptey, man. That's why I said it.
It's gonna be, I think it's going to be a cracker of the game, man.
Yeah.
West Brom's, figured out how to score goals. They can't keep them out, but they, figured out how to put them in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Brighton plays attractive football. They have a good setup, exciting players. They have a good system going. Lamptey, Trossard, and I forget the other dude up front. But they've got Maupay. That's it. Who makes more than Guendouzi? That's the guy. So for me, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a solid game. It's going to be pretty open. But I think that Brighton should walk away with the win. I think Brighton's going to keep a clean sheet as well. So 2-0 to Brighton.
2-0 to Brighton. Don, your thoughts on this game?
I kind of agree with almost with everything Zoe said except the score line. I think I completely agree that Brighton's been playing some good football. West Brom has also started to figure out how to score goals, but they have had a lot of issues in their back line, just pretty similar to Fulham in their back line. I think these two have been the worst defensive records in this season so far. So I think West Brom will leak in the goals, no doubt. But I think they've started to figure out how to score them as well, which is a very good thing. So that's why I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. Yeah, I probably I just feel Brighton will take this. I'll go with 2-0 Brighton win. And then the last game of the game week, Burnley versus Spurs, man. I mean, Spurs, they looked like title challenges for the first half of the last game, and then after that, it just, I don't know what happened. A very untypical Mourinho type performance, is conceding 3 goals in the last 10 minutes. Don, you can take this first. Burnley versus Tottenham.
So as unbiased as I can possibly be in my analysis, but I will be biased in my prediction. So I'm gonna be like, I think they looked very good. I think for 80 minutes in that game they looked very, very good. That Harry Kane and Son partnership is looking threatening. I think to add our boy from Madrid, Gareth Bale, coming through to kind of just add to that front three will be massive for them, no doubt. I just feel like they will need to eventually and quickly figure out how they can close games out, because I think that's been a problem with the Spurs for centuries. I don't even remember when they've been able to close games out consistently. To be title challengers, you have to close games out. You cannot. Yes, of course, there was an absolute worldie in the 94th minute. No one really expects that kind of a goal to come through. But still, it should have never gone that far. They really need to close games out. At 3-0 at 80 minutes, there's no excuses to kind of leak in 3 goals in 10 minutes. So I think that and I think Mourinho has that kind of experience to be able to do that. And I think he will really sit them down and give them a very harsh talking to in terms of how they played those last 10 minutes. And I think Mourinho has enough experience to kind of turn that around. But I can't go with them for a win ever in my life. Just like how you can't go for a City win, Musti. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Burnley win.
2-1 Burnley win. So I just wanted to ask you before, based on this game, Mourinho, we've seen him draw games, but to lose like that, it's very un-Mourinho-like. I mean, to draw like that, sorry. So your thoughts on this game and like how Tottenham was set up?
So honestly, man, I think that, as surprising as it is to see a Mourinho team concede 3 goals, we forget that it's Tottenham. Tottenham, Spurs gonna spur, man. Spurs gonna spur. So I think it was
they could concede, but like just the last 10 minutes of I don't know what he was doing. Like, I mean, tactically, don't you think he would or it's just like
I don't think it was a tactical thing, man. Because to concede 3 goals in the last 10 minutes, there wasn't much of an impact on the tactics at that point. I think that the team just switched off. They thought they had it in the bag, and they never recovered from conceding the first one. To be honest, that being said, I think he's gonna be furious. I think Mourinho is going to have given them a very interesting, past couple of training sessions. Expect double, triple defensive drills to make sure that everything's taken care of. On the attacking side of things, that Kane-Sonaldo partnership is looking phenomenal. So I don't think it's about scoring goals. That's the issue. Usually with Mourinho teams, they don't really score.
That's what I'm saying. It's so strange. Yeah.
Maybe Mourinho's having a midlife crisis. You never know. He's reinventing himself. He's finding himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's entertaining to watch.
Maybe he went to some ashram and the guru and try to understand who he is. But imagine he becomes like this all-out attacking manager. 5-0, 5-4 wins. But coming back to reality, I think this is going to be the game to respond. Be like, okay, we dropped the ball last time. We conceded a very soft 3 goals. How are we going to come back to it? So I see Tottenham winning 3-0. And plus Burnley can't score.
3-0. Yeah, I'm going with 4-0 Spurs because I feel that the greatest team in North London. That's my reason. But yeah,
hard to argue against that.
I like how Zoe's really chilled in his reactions. But I think that wraps up all the predictions. Any last thoughts, boys?
I just think that your Tottenham predictions were bullshit. Apart from that,
I just want to say, I'm not going to defend myself on that, but I just want to say next week, make sure you tune in because the predictions will be United versus Arsenal. Just tune in. It's Zoe versus Don. Zoe versus Don. I mean,
it's going to be such a hot mess.
Make sure you guys come prepared next week for the predictions episode. But I think that's all for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the games. They're coming thick and fast. And Don, best of luck for the Europa League, man.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Enjoy your Thursdays, man.
Thanks.